This manga has some supernatural to it. There's a little bit of romance. It's very mild. There's like no violence, there's no drugs, there's no sex. This is a good manga for younger audiences or all audiences of all ages. If you want something mellow, that's not going to stress you out, that's not going to give you like anxiety or not a thriller, this is a nice, calm, pleasant manga to start with and to read. Hi, happy Manga Monday. Today I'm going to be talking about Fruit Basket. This is a unique manga for me to cover. Not only did I find this at a secondhand store and bought it for 50 cents, this gives us a lot, or it gives me a ton of pages. It actually has like 7 or 8 chapters in here, which is a lot. Now, the original manga was released in 1998, and then this copy was translated in 2007 into this book. We follow Tohara Honda. I say Honda, and I'm probably saying it wrong. And I have watched both of the animes, the old one and the new one. I honestly just don't remember how to pronounce her name. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it right. I don't remember how to pronounce her name, probably. Her dad died when she was 3, and her mom recently passed away. So she was living with her grandpa, and then her grandpa wanted to remodel his house so her aunts and uncle could move in. So he asked her to go stay with friends during that time of the remodeling while he goes and stays with someone else. And she said she could. However, she didn't go and ask any of her friends to stay with them. Instead, she decided to pitch a tent in someone else's property, not knowing that it belonged to like a shrine. And she's been staying there for a couple weeks or a couple months at that point. Now, when she's leaving her tent, one day she comes across the shrine that I just mentioned, and inside was this attractive man. Okay, I wanted to find a picture. So she meets Shiger, I think is how you pronounce it, and he is in the shrine, and she is looking over like these little zodiac creatures. And it goes into tell like the story about how like a rat zodiac had tricked the cat zodiac into not going to a banquet, so the cat missed out while like all the other zodiacs was able to meet with God, right? So from that day forward, the cat has always been trying to kill the rat and hates the rat. On top of that, you have Shoma, which is a boy that goes to school with her. I think they're in the same grade, and he's saying that they're cousins and that they live together in this shrine type house. Now, when she goes to school, because she walks to school with him, you now have the complication of other girls being jealous because a lot of people view him as the school prince. So not only is she living in a tent, now she's starting to get like, not necessarily bullied, but a lot of pressure at school because girls are approaching her being like, what are you doing with like the prince of the school? Are you guys dating? What's going on? Like, we'll kill you. Maybe not that extreme, but to some degree extreme. However, in this story, our main female lead has friends that have her back and keep the bullies away. So even though she doesn't really have a family support system, at least at school, she has some really good friends that have her back. So after school, she goes to work and she works cleaning. And she does that because she needs money for food or like deodorants, you know, things like that, because her grandpa lives off a pension. So he only gets like X amount of money a month. So she works to, you know, kind of compensate for that and to help out a little. And with her living in a tent, like, she needs money. When she goes to work, she's really not feeling that great, and she makes it home. And when she goes home, she's in the tent, she's talking to her mom because she keeps a picture of her mom with her so she can talk to her mom. And she's going to leave her tent to like wash her face. She meets Shomu and Shiger, and they take her back to their house because she is feeling unwell, and they're just kind of talking to her about like her living situation and what's going on, and they agree to let her live there. And then all of a sudden a landslide happens and it destroys her tent and everything in it. And as she's sitting there digging, trying to find her mom's picture, they make her stop and say that they'll take care of it, tomorrow. They bring her back to the house and they're taking care of her. When she wakes up again, she has a conversation with both of the guys and they tell her like she should just live there for the couple months until her grandpa is done renovating his house. And during this conversation, our third main male lead pops in. Kaio pops in. Kaio is the third male lead. I personally like Kaio the best. He is my favorite character. When Kaio pops in, he starts to try and have a fight with Shuma. And during that fight, Honda reaches out and like hugs him from behind, and he transforms into a cat. Now this is where it takes like that sci-fi interesting turn. When he turns into a cat, she realizes that obviously something's wrong. All of these guys turn into different animals. So when she hugs one, he'll turn into a dog. Hugs another, he'll turn into like a rat. Hugs Kaio, and he turns into a cat, right? So she not only has to keep the secret now, but she's also living in the house and going to be cleaning and cooking and taking care of other things. They have a lot of complex relationships in this book because you have the guys who don't all necessarily get together. There's a lot of hate and animosity between Kaio and Shuma that needs to get worked out. And you have the relationship she has like with her friends and classmates and her grandpa, and it's a nice book. This is a nice manga. Now, again, this art style is on the older side, but then again, this was done in 1998, so it's kind of, it's over 20 years old. It's to be expected. But I do think that the artwork is still well done. If you don't really want to read the manga, you could always watch the anime instead, except the anime isn't complete. To my knowledge, there's only one season that's been released. So, thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.